Welcome to Quarantine Cooking. I'm your host, Andrew Dunning, and today we're going to make some pork tenderloin. We're going to stuff it with some stuffing. We're going to make up some potatoes, some German potatoes. We're going to add some bacon and some onions, and we're going to throw it all together. I'm telling you right now, we're not professional here. You're going to see packaged food coming out. You're going to see wine being drank. It's going to be a good time, so hold on and let's go. So we want to make sure that we have we have a German apron. How fitting is that? We're making a stuffed tenderloin, and I'm all set. So we have stovetop, some bacon, some taters. We got some onions, and then you know what we need? We need some red cabbage. My favorite ingredient, some maple syrup. Okay, so we're gonna preheat the oven on 375. We'll get that going, and then we'll get the rest of our ingredients ready to go, and we'll start working on stuffing the tenderloin. So I thawed out the tenderloin a little bit earlier. I'm just gonna grab that right now, and we'll start getting that ready. Ooh, yeah, looking good. And we're gonna get these potatoes ready and get them things in some water. Just need enough water to cover the potatoes. So these potatoes, they're already pre-washed. So I'm just gonna cut them up into manageable sizes. So when I boil them, that they'll be able to get soft, and then I can mash them. I just leave the skin on. I call it German mashed potatoes. And what I do is I mix it with cooked onions and bacon. I'll show you that in a second. It turns out really good. No fancy knife skills here, just the basics. I'm no chef. So now I'm just gonna get some onions ready. I'm just gonna dice them. And again, I'm not a knife pro, but I'm just gonna dice them as best I know how. And I'm gonna put them in a frying pan there. I'm gonna cook them off, get them about translucent. And then I'm gonna add some bacon in there. And I'll do the same thing with some of the bacon. I'll just get some of that done up. And that's gonna be for your potatoes. And some of it's gonna be for your gravy as well. Fancy! We're gonna make it all dairy free. Both my sons are lactose intolerant, so we basically do all our cooking dairy free. So instead of butter or anything, I'm not gonna fry the onions in butter. I'm gonna use a little coconut oil, and then we'll get those things ready, and then we'll throw in some bacon. We'll get it all going. So the onions are about done. They're translucent. They're exactly the way I want them. I want to have a little bit al dente, so they'll finish cooking off when I put it into the other stuff. That smells really good. Holy, don't forget to drink. All right, now for the bacon. Just need some hot water for my stuffing. We make fancy stuffing around here. This is stovetop stuffing. I'm gonna spice it up a little bit, make it a little bit, you know, more than just what's in the box, but it does the trick. This is quarantine cooking. This is not fine dining cooking. That'll be for the potatoes in a little bit. So I take some of this hot water here and I'm gonna pour it into the dressing. And to be honest, I don't know how much I'm supposed to use, but I'm gonna go by consistency, so keep on mixing it up. What you don't wanna do is make it too watery. You'll still get water and whatnot from the cooking of the actual pork. So if you leave it a little bit dry, it'll be fine. You need to steady the hand. So what we want to do is we take our sharp knife that we stood up the blade and we want to start opening it up. So we end up with a sheet essentially of a pork tenderloin, and that's what we stuff. So I'll start at the top here. Start rolling it out. And again, I'm no pro. I'm sure there's an official way to do this, but I just do it the way I think I know how. It's really important that you don't go too deep. You get holes like that, which are not a big deal. The bacon kind of holds it together, but end up with a nice sheet. There we go, and this is what we stuff. So now we're going to take our stuffing, our fancy stuffing, and we're going to put it onto the tenderloin, and we're going to wrap it all up. So now I just take it and I just start wrapping it. Start rolling it, wrapping and rolling. That's what we're doing. Got her. Just make sure stuffing doesn't come out. Get her nice and firm here. Back into the middle of the board. There you have it, stuffed tenderloin. You have to wrap it with bacon, then truss it up. We're gonna do that now. We'll take our bacon, stretch it out, and start wrapping it up. Okay, so now we truss it. This is the fun part. We'll make sure it's nice and secure so when we bake it, it doesn't come apart and it stays as one. It's gonna be great. Okay, we take some butcher's twine, and in my experience, it's always better to have too much than not enough. And you cut her off here. And the way I start it is I just get a nice knot here. I just do like 1, 2, 3 like that, and then I make it tight. And that the reason why you go around more than once is because now it's self-tightening, it just holds. And then I finish it off with an overhand knot. So then I just take this and I bring it down over like that. And I slide it under, I shimmy it under the tenderloin. And I keep it over to the side. I don't bring it to the middle because I want to tighten it to the middle. And then I take the running end or all the string and I run it through. And then I just cinch it up like that. And do it again. Keep on doing it. And I switch sides, don't really matter. Said we're not fancy here. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, so. Cinch it up. Again. You want to keep it pretty tight because this is going to hold it together in the oven there. And we'll just we'll finish it off. Make sure that bacon's nice and tucked because the whole point is to hold it in place. And finish it off with a couple overhand knots. There you have it. That's our tenderloin. And now I'm gonna transfer that over to the sheet that I prepared a little while ago. Move it over to here, and you can see you can pick it up as one giant piece, no problem. Throw it on there, and man, it actually smells really good. It's not even started cooking yet, it's amazing. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll throw it in the oven, and I think talking like 45 minutes. But you know what I do? I test it as I go. So now we make the mushroom sauce. Normally I use the Knorr brand Hunter sauce, but I couldn't find it because we're in quarantine right now. But I found the McCormick wild mushroom sauce, so I'm gonna put that in there. Essentially they asked for 1 1/4 cups, but right now we're just gonna add a 1 cup, and we'll make up the 1/4 cup with quarantine wine, of course. So another one of my favorites to go with this dish, when you take the red cabbage or purple cabbage and you cut it up and you mix it with a little bit of maple syrup. I use maple syrup, other people use honey, and I braise it down and get it nice and soft, and it's just absolutely delicious. A friend of mine sent me this stuff too. It's Back Eddie seasoning salt from the Northwest Territories from Yellowknife, and it is amazing. When you mix that with the braised cabbage, oh, it's to die for. So I've already cleaned up this cabbage. I've already cleaned out the outside and everything, put it into the bag. It's already prepped and ready to go. So I just have to cut it, and then I'll throw it into the pan and start braising it. Before I apply any heat, I just break it up, make sure it's all good to go. This stuff takes a bit of time to reduce or to make al dente, or even softer than al dente. So I like to get it all separated, get it ready to go. And then normally we would hit it with some white wine vinegar, but today we're gonna put in a little bit of vinegar because it's quarantine cooking and we don't have any white wine vinegar. So we're gonna hit it with some regular white vinegar. I'm gonna add some white wine. That's about right. There you have it, white wine vinegar. That's how we do it here. Holy moly. We're at 140 right now. We want to be at 165 at a minimum. So I'm just going to turn up the heat to 400 now. I want to start browning that bacon as well. So I'm just keeping an eye on it, and we're going to just bring it up to the proper temperature. Quarantine cooking, there's no quarantine cooking without some canned goods. So we got peaches and cream corn. That'll go awesome with this meal. I didn't grow it. I didn't do anything other than heat it up in the microwave, and that's what we're gonna do. So with the Hunter sauce, or the gravy that we're making, we'll bring it to a boil, and then we turn it down and we'll let it simmer off, and then that'll thicken the gravy and it'll be absolutely amazing. To take it out of the oven. I'm gonna throw it over there. And let it set up. I'm gonna put some tin foil on it. And then we can finish up the rest of our stuff here. So everything's happening at once now. We'll grab that tenderloin. We got lots of time. Once we get that out, set it up. Oh, look at that. She's a beaut. So now this is super reduced. We start off with quite a bit, but now it's nice and tender, and it's the smell. Oh my God. Oh man, that smells amazing. So our hunter sauce now is nice and thick. We're gonna reduce that. We're gonna simmer that off, and then we'll get the potatoes ready. All right. So now my potatoes are ready. I'm just gonna grab a colander. I'm gonna rinse those potatoes off, and then I'm gonna add my onions. I'm gonna add my bacon. I'm gonna put a little bit of bacon grease in there. I know it's not good for the heart, but you know what? It's really good for the flavor. And then we'll go from there. I think we're almost set. I'm gonna add some vegan margarine to it as well. Like I said, we're doing a dairy-free option here, and everything in this meal is completely dairy-free. It's gonna be terrific. Oh, the skin on, they look good. I'm gonna grab my onions, my bacon that I cooked earlier. I throw that in there. Whoa, look at these suckers. This is my bacon grease from earlier, so I add a little bit of that. This is the vegan margarine. Salt and pepper. Oh yeah. All right, so the potatoes are done, and I don't go crazy mashing them because I'm looking for a rustic kind of a texture to them. We're looking at the braised cabbage, you got the hunter sauce, you got the semi-mashed potatoes there, and you have the stuffed tenderloin. It's gonna be amazing. So we also have corn with the meal, so it's a kind of a real kind of a harvest meal. It's really delicious. Grab this guy and try not to drop it on the floor. It's really hot. Ooh-wee. Now, you don't want to leave any of this stuff behind. It's not good. That looks good. Bon appetit. Well, thank you for joining us on quarantine cooking, and I'm looking forward to digging in. That's so good.